southbound on the 3rd line. So that's some good news there. In town on our city streets, we still have Yonge Street closed from Lawton to Merton Street. That's blocked due to a collision investigation. Again, that's at our last check, but if we are incorrect, feel free to give us a call at star 680. If you're out there noticing something that we should know traffic-wise, we always appreciate traffic tips from our listeners. Your next report is coming up at 1:21. And now with the forecast, here's Michelle Nelson.
Quite the temperature swing over the past 24 hours. Saturday morning, we hit a low near minus 22 at Pearson. Waking up this morning to +1. We'll see building cloud cover late morning with a scattered rain-snow mix this afternoon. Your high will be 4 degrees, and then tons of sunshine Monday. Your high, -1. Your overnight low is 0.
In downtown Toronto, it is -1, but it feels like -7 and partly cloudy. Over at Pearson, it is -2 and feels like -2. City News Time 1:13. The biggest music award show is getting underway later tonight. The 65th annual Grammy Awards is back tonight with a 2-star-studded performances and a history moment for Beyonce. Queen Bee has been nominated for 9 awards in total tonight, which is actually bringing her total overall Grammy nominations over her career to 88, making her the most nominated female artist ever. She is also tied with the most nominated male artist, who just happens to be her husband, Jay-Z. The majority of the awards will be handed out before the premiere ceremony at 8. You can watch it live on City TV. Coming up next to your latest headlines and sports, City News Time 1:14.
License number 10349.
It hurts. You had big plans, but now they're crushed because the bank denied your mortgage. Don't get mad. Call Northwood Mortgage. Northwood takes a closer look at your financial picture. Why deal with one lender when Northwood can negotiate with over 100 different lenders to provide you with the best mortgage solutions? Visit northwoodmortgage.com. We're working harder for you.
Saxenda?
Saxenda. 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 Saxenda.
Oh, Saxenda.
Yep, Saxenda.
So Saxenda.
Saxenda. Have you heard about Saxenda yet? Talk to your doctor today to see if Saxenda is right for you.
Saxenda.
Toronto's news. Now, this is City News 680. Everywhere.
It is -1, but feels like -7 and partly cloudy in downtown Toronto. Good morning. I'm David Augustine. Here are the top stories this hour. We continue to wait for the result of an injunction filed with the Law Society of Ontario in an effort to save the trees around Osgoode Hall that the province wants to cut down to build the Ontario line. The result is suspected to come down sometime this morning. One person has been taken to hospital by emergency right after a collision. Toronto police say that 2 vehicles crashed at Yonge Merton Street just after 9:15 yesterday night. Stay with City News 680 as we follow this for the latest updates. And 2 people have died after police say they found their bodies in a home in Bowmanville yesterday afternoon. Durham Regional Police say that they got the call around 2:15 for a wellness check at a home on Crombie Road. It is now turned into a double homicide. We're looking into that. And coming up after sports, Canada is implementing more regulations and restrictions against Russia. Now time for sports. From Sportsnet's 5-9 in the Fan, here's Brandon DePont.
Saturday in the state of Florida, we were treated to the NHL's 3-on-3 All-Star Tournament. In the semifinals, there will be both divisions in the West facing off against each other. Meanwhile, both divisions in the East would also go toe-to-toe. In the Western semifinal, Canucks Elias Pettersson had 2 goals, although it would not be enough, as the Central Division would pick up a 6-4 win over the Pacific. In the East semi, Panthers' Matthew Tkachuk had 3 goals and 2 assists, tying a single-game record for the format to aid the Atlantic to a 10-6 win and advance to the final. In that final, it would be the Atlantic versus the Central, and the Atlantic would cruise in a large portion of this one, fending off a frantic finish, but it would be enough for a 7-5 victory for them and a split pot of $1 million. In other news, next year's All-Star Game will be returning to Canada as Toronto will host the Hockey World for the 2024 NHL All-Star Game. And now to the footy pitch. Arsenal lost in the Premier League for just the second time this season as Everton pulled off a surprising 1-0 win over the leaders in its first match under new manager, Sean Dyche. Newcastle dropped points to West Ham as they tie 1-1. Elsewhere, goals for Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford give Manchester United a nail-biter 2-1 home win over Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. The win and Newcastle draw put Man United up into third place in the table. Also, Liverpool's struggles continue as they fall 3-0 to Wolves. Other winners on the day include Leicester, Brentford, and Brighton. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
5-star Google reviews are the best reviews any company can get. This drumbeat represents one. Many companies have some. And this is how many Search Kings has. Search Kings has over 1,200 5-star Google reviews. No wonder Google hand-selected Search Kings as a Google Premier Partner. And they're Canadian. You want to stand out where your customers are online? Switch to Search Kings.
CHFI Secret Voices Jackpot is waiting for you to win. Just guess our 5 famous voices in the right order saying CHFI Toronto's perfect music.
And you win it all.
Play CHFI Secret Voices.
The biggest game in the GTA.
Weekday mornings at 7, 8, and 11.
And afternoons at 1 and 4.
CHFI Toronto's perfect music.
Go to CHFI.com for all the wrong guesses.
And good luck. Your news now on your radio,
On your television,
online, and on your smart speaker.
play City News Toronto.
City News Time 1:19. Canada is the latest G7 nation to announce it's expanding caps on Russian oil.
Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland says the maximum price for seaborne Russian origin petroleum will be $100 US per barrel for a premium to crude products as of Sunday, and $45 US for discount to crude products. The new caps build on a Russian crude oil price limit announced in December that are intended to weaken President Vladimir Putin's ability to fund the war against Ukraine. The Finance Department says the caps are designed to reduce Russian revenues while recognizing the importance of stable energy markets and minimizing negative economic effects. Brenda Molina-Navidad, The Canadian Press.
Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have your traffic and weather together. City News Time 1:20.
Now streaming on City TV Plus. Poker Face.
I can just let anyone's life.
Natasha Lyonne, Adrian Brody, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt lead an all-star cast.
I think there's been a murder. I'm trying to figure out what happened.
It's a thrilling murder mystery from Knives Out writer-director Ryan Johnson.
What's he like? Always knowing the truth.
Poker Face. Now streaming on City TV Plus. Available with Prime Video channels.
Your dreams have come true, Toronto. Direct from the London Palladium, the brand new smash hit production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat is now wowing audiences at the Princess of Wales Theatre. Don't miss this acclaimed production of one of the world's most beloved musicals in its North American premiere. Go, 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 go see Joseph. Now on stage through February 18th. Book your dream tickets now. Call 1-800-461-3333 or go to nerdish.com.
City News Time 1:21. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Ali Stewart.
Thanks, David. We have a collision on the eastbound 401. It is just east of the Allen. It's in the collectors. We've got just the right lane blocked at this time. It is causing a little bit of a delay in the area, especially if you are accessing the 401 using the Allen. So just use some extra caution in this area. Again, eastbound 401 collectors. It's just east of Allen Road. And then we also have another collision up on the northbound 400. This is approaching Innisfil Beach Road, causing a very, very slight delay at the moment. It's just in the left lane at this time. So again, northbound 400, just ahead of Innisfil Beach Road. And then other than that, the roads are in good shape overall. We don't have any construction happening this morning on any of our major highways, so no ramp closures or anything like that, and the roads are moving well. In town on our city streets, at last check, Yonge Street is still closed in both directions from Lawton Boulevard to Merton Street. So that's just that stretch of Yonge Street close to Mount Pleasant Cemetery. Again, closed in both directions due to an earlier collision and now investigation. If you notice anything else traffic related that you think we should know about, feel free to give us a call at star 680. Your next report is coming up at 1:31. And now with the forecast, here's Michelle Nelson.
Gusty southwesterly winds today helping to warm us up. +1 this morning and partly cloudy. It feels at -5. A special weather saving remains in place for Hamilton through to Niagara, and that's for some strong winds gusting to 80 kilometers per hour, beginning late morning and ending by this evening. The chance of a scattered rain-snow mix this afternoon. Your high +4. Monday, plenty of sunshine. You'll need the shades with a high near -1, so above seasonal. Those temperatures jump up to +5 Tuesday with light rain on the way. Your overnight low is 0.
It is currently -1, it feels like -7 in downtown Toronto. Over at Pearson, -3, and feels like -6. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll have the latest on the injunction filed by the Law Society of Ontario to try to prevent Metrolinx from cutting down the trees around Osgoode Hall to build the Ontario Line extension. We're still awaiting the result from the judge's decision. That should be coming down sometime this morning. City News Time, 1:23.
Forecast calling for volatility outlast the storm with Skyline Investments. Skyline's REIT investors have seen stable annualized returns of 12% or more over the last 5 years. Invest in Skyline's private institutional quality real estate assets. Contact us today at skylinewealth.ca/volatility. Skyline Wealth Management Inc. is an exempt market dealer. Products are not guaranteed, and investor qualifications apply. Past performance may not be repeated. Standard performance returns at skylinewealth.ca/volatility.
Follow the news leader. Wherever the story goes,
You can catch it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. What you need to know on all your socials.
at City News Toronto.
City News Time, 1:24. One of sports' most important weeks is almost upon us as the lead up to Super Bowl 57 ramps up. Our Simon Bennett has a preview of the days to come.
The highlight for many of Super Bowl week used to be media day, but sometimes it was just a gong show.
I'm here so I won't get fined. Are you ready?
Wow. Once again, Super Bowl week kicks off with opening night, the first public appearance by the Eagles and Chiefs players since arriving. Then Thursday is busy, NFL honors, where the MVP and other award winners will be announced, along with the unveiling of this year's Hall of Fame class. Then, next Sunday, when you're sick of talking about the game, just play already. Super Bowl 57. It's Chris Stapleton with the anthem. Hope it doesn't rain in Glendale. Fans might need it. Rihanna is doing halftime this year. Eagles Chiefs kicks off at 6:30 next Sunday. Simon Bennett, City News.
Another U.S. aid package is on its way to Ukraine.
Russia stepping up its offensive in eastern Ukraine. The Ukrainian officials claiming their troops are holding on in the brutal Battle of Bakhmut. This is tributes pour in for a brave and selfless American medic who was killed Thursday while evacuating civilians from that eastern city. 33-year-old Pete Reed died when his ambulance was shelled. He reportedly saved a colleague, shielding them with his own body in the attack.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is warning that the situation is getting much tougher as Russia adds more troops to the fight. Your business report is next.
During Cora's all-you-can-eat crepe festival, eating one crepe costs $10. 5 crepes, $10. 10 crepes? Anyone? You got it. Also $10. Should I keep going, or are we good? I'd say we're pretty good. Maybe even as good as all those crepes.
It's Cora's Breakfast and Lunch All-You-Can-Eat Crepe Festival. Only until February 12th. And only in restaurant.
This could be the most adorable sound known to the human ear. This, not so much. But if you have this going on in your house, you need New Canadian Drain and Plumbing. You've seen the baby on the side of those trucks, right? That's New Canadian. So if you have problems with plumbing, or your drains aren't draining, or even if you have a leaky basement, call 416-652-3535 and talk to New Canadian Drain and Plumbing. Or visit newcanadiandrain.com. I
interest rates went up again this past week. The U.S. Fed, the Eurozone Central Bank, the UK are all raising rates and warning rates likely have further declined to cool inflation. But for investors, 2023 has been a huge year already for tech stocks, dismissing concerns that had crushed the tech heavy rates last year. Analysts are describing it as a case of FOMO, fear of missing out, as stocks rise. Retail investors putting cash into this market at a pace not seen since the Reddit rally of 2021. Jeff Phipps is a portfolio manager and trading strategist with Victor Mahoney Asset Management.
When you look at a number of lower quality names and more speculative parts of the market outperform, it's generally associated with more active asset managers such as hedge funds repositioning across the shorts that they have in their books, as well as retail. Retail has been a pretty important force in January so far, looking at their participation in the market. Cohorts within that group do prefer some of these more speculative parts of the market.
U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jay Powell literally told the market this week he's going to be raising interest rates at least once, maybe twice more, a warning that was dismissed until Friday when the U.S. labor market stats for January came in much stronger than forecast. He's only reinforced the idea that the U.S. Federal Reserve officials will be issuing new warnings for the next few weeks.
There are opportunities over coming days and weeks for Fed governors to walk back any perceived misinterpretation of Powell's comments. I think the more important question right now is if the markets will listen.
As Jeff Phipps, portfolio manager and trading strategist, Victor Mahoney Asset Management. The only central bank so far to signal it's going to be the sidelines on interest rates in the near term is the Bank of Canada. But it too says it's data dependent. Big number due this week, the jobs report for January, due Friday morning. At the City News Business Center, I'm Mike Upton.
Anchors away. Flight Centre is your cruise made easy centre, with shiploads of offers on amazing cruises to destinations like the Caribbean, Alaska and Europe. We're your one-stop shop for all your cruising needs. So get on board and call our specialist cruise team now at 1-833-987-0144. But hurry, don't let these epic cruise deals sail away.
Furnace on the fritz? Get it fixed fast. Enercare Home Services can get your heat going again with repairs done by a pro. And right now, for a limited time, get a furnace repair diagnostic for $0. That's a $99 savings. Getting your furnace fixed fast is good, but saving some money in the process? Like $99? Now that's a hot deal. Terms and conditions apply. Learn more at enercare.ca. That's enercare.ca.
City News Time, 1:30.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is City News 680, everywhere.
Good morning. This is Sunday, February 5th. I'm Sarah Carioni.
And I'm David Augustine. Here's making the news this hour.
Metrolinx and the Law Society of Ontario are eagerly awaiting the results of an injunction hearing, one which could save 200-year-old trees at Allscott Hall from being cut down.
One person is in hospital after a collision in Toronto's East End last night.
The homicide unit has taken over an investigation in Bowmanville after Durham police found 2 people dead in a home.
And China has responded to the U.S. shooting down what is believed to be a Chinese spy balloon that floated across Canadian and American airspace.
At the NHL All-Star Game, the Atlantic and Central battle it out in the final for division supremacy and an all-time NBA record in jeopardy. Sports at 45.
And coming up in business, we're 1 month into 2023. So how are those New Year's resolutions going? An executive coach offers some tips on how to tune up your objectives.
City News Time, 1:31.
It's time for traffic and weather. Together on the ones, here's Ali Stewart.
Thanks, Sarah. We still have a collision on the eastbound 401. It's just at the Allen in the collectors occupying the right lane. It's now also shut down the northbound Allen ramp to the eastbound 401. Terminal 1 collectors. So you can, if you are on the island, you can access the eastbound express. However, you cannot access the collectors. So just as a reminder, it's in the collectors, it's in the right lane, and it's just at the island, technically just east of the island, but right where you get onto the express there if you were using the northbound island, but that is now shut down as a result of this collision. So do expect some delays in the collectors, a lot of flashing lights in this area as well. And then we also have another collision. This is in the Innisfil area, northbound 400. It's approaching Innisfil Beach Road. That has the left lane blocked, not causing too much of a delay. And then otherwise, we are looking good on our highways. No constructions, no ramp closures or anything like that. We just have a couple of things going on here and there on our city streets. First of which is that Yonge Street is still closed in both directions from Lawton Boulevard to Merton Street, and that's closed in both directions due to a collision investigation. So right at the westernmost point of the Mount Pleasant Cemetery, that stretch of Yonge there, and then we will let you know when that reopens. And then we also have a little bit of the Lakeshore both directions at Parliament. That's down to a single lane as well. Your next report in less than 10 minutes. And now with the forecast, here is Michelle Nelson.
After record-breaking cold in parts of Ontario, we're seeing a significant swing in those temperatures. +1 this morning. We are bumping up even more, +4 this afternoon. It's going to be a mostly cloudy day with gusty winds out of the southwest. We do have the chance of a rain-snow mix this afternoon, very scattered. Your overnight low is 0.
In downtown Toronto, it is -1, but feels like -7 and partly cloudy. And over at Pearson right now, it is -2 and feels like -2. City News Time, 1:33.
The Law Society of Ontario filed an injunction attempting to save the trees that Metrolinx wants to remove for the Ontario line extension, but this did not stop Metrolinx from starting to take them down.
City's James Mackin has the latest on this story and the injunction hearing that is attempting to save these trees.
Liz Driver, the interim chair of the Build the Ontario Line Differently Community Coalition, tells me that no matter what the result of the injunction hearing is, she hopes that Metrolinx will sit down with members of the community and hear them out.
We could resolve this issue if reasonable people sat down and found the best solution for this landmark intersection of University and Queen's.
City Councilor Josh Matlow tells me that while Metrolinx is a provincial agency, the city and Mayor John Tory should be doing more to save these trees.
Even where the mayor may not have legislative powers, he has the power of influence, unlike anybody else in the city, that needs to be used well. And, we're not seeing it.
In a statement, Metrolinx says, following the hearing, we look forward to proceeding to get this critical transit line built. James Mackin, City News.
City News Time, 1:35. One person has been taken to hospital by emergency run after a collision. Toronto police say that the two vehicles crashed at Yonge and Merton Street just after 9:15 yesterday night, and there's no word yet on the severity of the person's injuries. Officers remain on scene to investigate. Yonge Street is currently closed from Lawton Boulevard to Merton Street both ways. Stay with City News 680 for the latest on this story.
2 people have died after police say they found their bodies in a home in Bowmanville yesterday afternoon. Durham Regional Police said they got the call around 2:15 for a wellness check at a home on Crombie Road from a person that is known to the family living inside. Now, when officers arrived at the home, they found the 2 bodies inside. Police cannot confirm how the people died, but they say that the homicide unit will be taking over the investigation. There's also no word on the ages of the people found or if there's any relation between them. Anyone with information is being asked to contact the police.
This is City News 680. A 56-year-old man has been arrested in connection with the sexual assault of a child that happened more than 10 years ago. Police believe that there may also be other victims. The investigation started after allegations that a boy was sexually assaulted at a Toronto residence from 2011 to 2013. John Moyer was arrested and charged with 8 counts of sexual interference, 2 counts of invitation to sexual touching, making and possessing child pornography. Police also say they found evidence that Moyer had contact with children since 2004. Anyone with information is being asked to contact police.
You're listening to All News Radio, City News 680. The Chinese government says it will retaliate after the United States shot down what is believed to be a Chinese spy balloon. Now, Now, China says the move violates international norms and claims the balloon was a civilian weather balloon that drifted off course. U.S. defense tracked the balloon for a week as it drifted over secure areas in the United States and other areas of North America like Canada before making the call to shoot it down yesterday afternoon. ABC's Elwin Lopez reports the U.S. military is now recovering the debris.
The Navy and the Coast Guard are securing the perimeter to collect that debris with unmanned vehicles and divers. Pentagon officials say that the water where the balloon came down is fairly shallow. They expect recovery operations to be short.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says he supports the United States' decision to shoot down the balloon, saying it also violated Canadian airspace. Trudeau says the two countries will work together on security and defense.
City News Time 1:37. An NHL homecoming is expected next year. Toronto will host the NHL All-Star Weekend for the first time in almost 25 years. City's Mike Leach has the details of yesterday's announcement.
NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman spilling the beans on Saturday afternoon in Florida.
In 2024, the Honda NHL All-Star Weekend will be played for the 9th time in Toronto.
That's right. For the first time since the year 2000, the NHL All-Stars will shine the brightest here in the city at Scotiabank Arena. Leafs president Brendan Shanahan played in that game 23 years ago and is thrilled to have the best players on the planet coming back to the epicenter of hockey.
In Toronto, we're really excited to welcome hockey fans from all around the world and the best players in the league.
So now we need some TO-themed skills events, maybe the tower target shoot, players trying to score into a net on the ground from on top of the CN Tower. Just a thought. Mike Leach, City News.
City News Time 1:38. The 33rd annual award-winning Von Rieger Fest takes place later today for the first time since the 2020 pandemic began. Some of the activities include the Great Canadian Lumberjack Demo, horse-drawn wagon rides, and the interactive Lego build. Joining for the free and family winter celebration from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Valor Village Community Center.
City News Time 1:38. The Internationally Trained Dentists Association of Canada is holding a rally later today as a way to fight against what they're calling the unfair treatment and practices of the National Dental Examination Board. The rally is set to be held at Yonge Dundas Square today at 11 a.m. And coming up next, your gas price update.
City News Time 1:39.
CHFI Secret Voices Jackpot is waiting for you to win. Just guess our 5 famous voices in the right order saying CHFI Toronto's perfect music. And you win it all. Play CHFI Secret Voices.
The biggest game in the GTA.
Weekday mornings at 7, 8, and 11.
And afternoons at 1 and 4.
CHFI Toronto's perfect music.
Go to CHFI.com for all the wrong guesses.
And good luck.
Now time for your City News gas price update. As Empro predicted, the price dropped 5 cents at midnight to $1.40.9 a liter. At most GTA stations, go fill up while you can. Coming up next, traffic and weather together on the one. City News Time 1:40.
My mortgage is renewing and rates have gone crazy.
Same here. I really needed good advice. I went to Butler Mortgage.
What happened?
Honesty happened. Best rate options plus telling me how to get a better deal from my own bank if that was best.
Wow, not just selling their own mortgage?
No, Butler Mortgage just told the truth and had a 4.49% fixed rate.
Get the answers at Butler Mortgage. License 12118. High ratio fixed rate APR of 4.50%.
If you've been longing to take your driving experience to a new level of luxury, the team at Mercedes-Benz Newmarket is here to help. Right now, take advantage of special lease rates on most new 2022 vehicles, starting from as low as 4.99%. Plus, existing customers can enjoy an extra 2% loyalty rate reduction. Don't miss out on these great rates. Mercedes-Benz Newmarket, proud winner of the prestigious 2022 Star Dealer Award. Find out more at mercedes-benzNewmarket.ca.
City News Time 1:41. Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Emily Stewart.
Thanks, Sarah. We still have a collision on the eastbound 401 at the Allen. It's in the collectors just east of the Allen Road there. 2 right lanes were blocked. I'm now hearing it's just the one again. In any event, still a lot of flashing lights in this area. A little bit distracting for sure if you're traveling through. So just watch out for that. And also, as an update, still no access to the eastbound 401 collectors if you are traveling north closed. You can use northbound Allen, however, to access the eastbound 401 Express. But access to the eastbound 401 collectors there is still closed. You'll see a lot of arrows and flashing lights on the Allen as well as you're heading up towards the 401. So there is